Thank you very much, everyone. You're very welcome. Lovely to see another loud person. I was on a committee earlier on with another loud person. It's great to hear the accent coming back to me when I'm thinking with Fergus is a little bit more posher. He doesn't have the classic loud accent. But he's loud. But it's lovely to see you, Michelle, and it's lovely to see you, Robert, and of course the duo of that is Pamela and Det. It's great to have you here. And I suppose to get straight into business, I want to really congratulate you on the innovative charter. And me, I'm proud of it as well, as I was vice chair when the whole process was started, and I'm really proud and honoured to be kind of taking a wee part of that success. And I want to congratulate you all, because it's a really good document. It's future proofing what the East Border region is. And when I think about my predecessor on Louth County Council, Councillor Peter Savage, who was there in 1976, who was one of those originators of this cross-border cooperation, and how much the East Border region has, so many successes that the East Border region, and the great capacity that is in the East Border region, and the capacity for further development. I just have a few questions, and my first question would be on the programme and the position you spoke about there, Pamela, on for the East-West relationships. And when is that position going to be put in place, or and when is it going to come into fruition? And I suppose what help can we give that position, that person who comes into that position as a part of maybe the Good Friday Agreement Committee, and also the British-Irish Parliamentary Association, because there is strong links east and west, and if the Oireachtas and the Assembly North and South, if we can support that person in that role to build those links, it's really, really important. And I suppose my other question would be on what do you see as the biggest challenge for you as an organisation working cross-border? I suppose there's the obvious challenge of political differences and all that, but that aside, you don't have multi-annual funding. You're going from project to project, and the importance of possibly working towards, a dedicated regional authority that is there working cross-border and has that mandate to work cross-border, and indeed all the border counties, and work closer and be facilitated to work closer with ICBAN and the Northwest and that. So your thoughts on that? Sorry, and I think Brendan. Yeah, grand. Yeah. Great.
Yeah. Well, if we look at the East-West cooperation, as I say, we are primarily, and our core is North-South cooperation. But Brexit changed things in that, obviously, with the negotiations between Westminster and with the EU, and the divisions that we were seeing that were filtering through to our board meetings, etc. So it was very clear, and we would have facilitated a regular number of visits to the border regions by MPs, indeed across Europe. But when we had British MPs there, they really, I think we were taken aback by the lack of knowledge that they had, and indeed they said that themselves. We haven't actually been here before. The intricacies of the border area aren't known to us as such. So we then thought, well, maybe we need to do something in order to inform and to look on an East-West basis. So that is really where it came from. What can the Irish government do? It has done something in that it has just last week awarded us funding. And it's not a person that we're bringing in per se. It is, we want to bring our elected members across over to Westminster. We want to develop programmes of activity over there which will inform. And we also want to bring MPs, etc., over from Westminster to the region to inform them as to what the needs and what the priorities are of the region. So that's what it is primarily. We've a 1-year programme initially, and to say we've literally been awarded funding, so now it's about the linkages and we've already, the Camcorla's office here have said they will assist us as well. And what we need to do is to talk to the right people and to really achieve the outcome which we want, which is really, it's about information gathering and capacity building, but on a slightly different basis. It doesn't take away from our core. It helps us to work more effectively on the cross-border basis. So it's new to us, and if we're back in a couple of years, no doubt we can inform you on that. What you say is our biggest challenge working cross-border. I'll let maybe my other colleagues come in, but for me certainly, and for Det here, the programme manager for East Border, it is that consistently sourcing core funding. We need to have projects, approved projects, and that's where we secure our monies from. The local authorities, the member local authorities, fund about a quarter of the core costs of East Border region. So without those programmes, we struggle. And the big struggle for us is in between the European structural funds and the 7-year programmes. You've always got a gap, and we always have to lose good people then. So that would be what I would say the biggest challenge. The rest of the work we're doing, it's consistently challenging, and you have things like Brexit that you haven't foreseen, or you have a pandemic that you haven't foreseen, but we can deal with that. But I would say the biggest challenge is just that forward planning when you know that you need to be successful in terms of drawing down new monies and being successful with projects. And we're facing that now. Most of the Interreg 5A projects, and I hope you all have a copy of the annual report which outlines those excellent projects, but they are starting to finish the end of this year, the beginning of next year. Peace Plus is coming on board at some time this year, but it may be another year and a half before we actually have secured money. So in between, and I mean, this is a problem for a host of organisations that depend on Peace Plus, or Peace, as it will, and Interreg funding. So they're all in the same boat, and it happens every time we move into a new programme. So that, for me, would be the biggest challenge.
Okay, go ahead, Michelle. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, I suppose, like when we came on board in 2019 and we had a capacity building time away in Brussels, and Senator McGreehan was there as well, and Councillor Burgess, and it really did help coordinate all of our groups together and form relationships that just wouldn't have been possible just in board meetings. And unfortunately, since COVID-19 and the restrictions, we actually haven't had a physical meeting. So all of our meetings have been online so far, and that really does compound I suppose the body language, difficulties in communication maybe, and you just can't replace the in-person meetings. And we have new members that haven't been to any of the meetings, and again, they don't know any of the other councillors, so we need to really build up all of those relationships again. So it sometimes feels like we're starting from the beginning. But I think it will be exciting going forward with the Peace Plus funding, and we are very grateful to have the funding now, even to go over to London, hopefully, and meet some of our counterparts. So I think that will be the start again of building those relationships with the politicians, you know, and understanding that while we may come from different backgrounds politically, different belief systems, when we are in a room together, we can communicate on a very natural level, and we just want to improve the lives of people in our border regions, and that's our main focus, is just to improve the lives of ordinary people in the border counties of Ireland and Northern Ireland. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Yep, go ahead.
Well, just to follow along there, you know, I think the previous two speakers have nearly answered all that could be answered, but on the East-West relationships, especially on the border checks on the Irish Sea border, that is creating mayhem at the minute. If there's any way that the Irish government could help to smooth iron that out, especially with livestock, it creates a bit of a problem for those who want to go to shows and one thing and another, and those who are importing and exporting agriculture products. you know, and if there's a part load coming in, it seems to create mayhem too, and part loads of anything to do with agriculture seems to be a problem. Because I think it's all coming south. But if there's any way that the Irish government could help to ease that problem, that would be greatly appreciated.
So thank you for raising that with us.